Welcome back. We pretty much talked about everything. I think this would be the last video that we'll talk about truck dispatcher training. If you say, Kamal, well, we talked about pretty much transportation industry, but we didn't talk about like how to become a truck dispatcher. Maybe you're thinking about what are the steps into becoming a dispatcher. So, you have to know information first. You need to get informed and then implement and then go ahead and market your services so you can make money. So these video series, it gives you the information about the transportation industry, because dispatchers, they work directly with trucking companies, and they are the transportation industry. Then don't take me wrong, but you have to know this information prior to getting, I would say, more knowledge or learning the skill, just hands-on training, learning how to dispatch, how to negotiate. But by the way, if you wanted to learn more about how to negotiate with brokers, want to know about, as I said, the load boards and the rate confirmations, PODs and stuff, you can go ahead and check it out, the video training or our free training, truck dispatcher training that I created. It's a link below. Just log in and it's free. Just learn about the step-by-step how to become a truck dispatcher. But now let's focus on the $800 billion game. And I will explain the difference between consumer and customer. I've been asked a lot. People confused with consumer and customer. They said, Kamal, is it like, for example, in this slide, okay, the broker's consumer is a shipper, or is it broker's customer shipper? So shipper's customer is a broker, but it's not shipper's consumer is a broker. So we can't say that. Why? There's only one reason, because consumer, it's a person who purchases goods and services for personal use, right? So shippers and brokers, not for personal use, right? They are the businesses. They call them, I would say, instead of using consumer, will be using customer, because it makes sense. Distribution centers, customer is manufacturer. Manufacturer's customer is a shipper. The quick question, what about carrier's customer? It can be changed. Our customer can be shipper or manufacturer or distribution centers or wholesalers or retailers, right? But most of the time you will be working with brokers, because brokers all over the place, right? Because they're middlemen. Your customer as a carrier will be who? Broker. If you are a dispatcher, your customer is a owner-operator or carrier or broker, or might be a shipper, but most of the time you will be your carrier or owner-operator, so you will be working directly with them. Okay, so back to transportation industry and back to this huge game. So the consumer, we said, purchases goods and services for personal use, right? They're huge. Everybody kind of targeting consumers. Why? Because they are the ones who purchases goods and services. So now we must make something, right? So we must deliver something so that we can make money. And this is where $800 billion game comes in. Shipper wants to make money, and he goes into the business. Broker says, okay, it's huge. Let me go into the business, because there are many consumers. Let me go into the business. Carriers said, okay, let me go into the business. Factoring company wanted to involve with this huge game. And of course, dispatchers. And dispatchers, all of my trainings and videos will be focusing on how to become a truck dispatcher, ultimately how you can guys run your dispatch or truck dispatch service business from home or from your offices, right? That's my main goal, right? In order to get there, so I have to explain, kind of give you a juice, right? The information that is really the backbone of becoming a truck dispatcher. It's huge. We have to learn this in order to learn this. It's kind of step by step, right? I have many Facebook members, and I have Facebook friends, and I have co-dispatchers. I have my own dispatchers, and they want to learn the skill. They want to learn the skill. They go online and check, and how to become a truck dispatcher. And then there are many trucking or dispatcher training out there online. You can go right now and type truck dispatcher training or whatever, or courses. It will pop up. There are many carriers or many dispatchers who learned a skill, and then they're training people out there, like people like you or people like me. And the only problem is, what I realized is that people get information, right? So they informed, and what's left? The left thing is that, they don't have any hands-on training. They don't have any hands-on training. So if they have information, they informed, and then they had some kind of, I would say, training, but the last part, which is really important, they don't know how to market themselves. Well, I don't care if you are the dispatcher or the best dispatcher in the world, but if nobody knows about you, so what, right? And my trainings are, I'll give you info first, then implementation second, right? First, you need to get information, or you need to be informed about this industry, right? And then you need to implement, right? Where I go and log you with you, like remote, let's say, remote access to one of, or just let's say that we will be doing the training remotely, right? I'll be saying, okay, log in to, I will give you the login credentials, okay, log in to load boards, and I will be training you, okay, here's how I talk to the broker, and here's the negotiation tactics. And by the way, as I said, in many previous videos, that, I created a free truck dispatcher training course. The link is below, so you can click enroll, and then you can take the course for free, right? And the last part is the marketing. People don't know how to use social media. Be honest with you, I realize that. Many people don't know how to market themselves on social media. They don't know how to use, I would say, or get, leverage the internet to get customers, right? So many of you maybe some of you who watching right now this video trainings, you had the information. Right, and then you said, okay, I have the information, I know about trucking industry, so what? I have no training, so what should I do, right? Many trainings, they don't provide you with implementation, right? And then let's say if somebody does this, you have the implementation, you work for carriers, or for a carrier, and you have some kind of, I would say, experience. Logging in to the load boards, using load boards, dispatching, how to talk to brokers, negotiating tactics and strategies, right? But they don't know how to market themselves, right? And I'm giving you this quick tip for those who's truck dispatcher right now and they don't have any customers. So remember we talked about factoring companies. Factoring companies, they own hundreds of thousands of email lists of brokers and carriers, or broker agents or dispatchers, right? I have a factoring company, I am a carrier, I have several trucks that I manage, and I need dispatchers. What you can do, you can write an email, right? An email, and then call factoring companies. Factoring companies, you can search online, you can type factoring companies or best list of factoring companies and call them. Take like 5 of them, right? And call them and say, hey, I'm a dispatcher and I would like to market my services to those people in your email list. Would you mind doing that? In about 99% they will do that. The reason why? Because they have a huge email list and they have a newsletter, or I would say they are updating or giving the value for their email list. I receive a ton of email where my factoring company sends me about how I can save from fuel, how I can save from my electronic logging devices. or if you don't know what is electronic logging devices, you don't have to worry about. It's some type of I would say software that we use to kind of log our or the driver's hours to log in and, you know, kind of check in, checking out. You can think of that way, explain in a simple way. So you can write them and say, hey, I'm a dispatcher and I need a job, right? So I'm working from home. Would you mind, you know, sending this email to your owner operators? And we actually did, we did several times, right? One of my students calling me and says, hey, Kamal, it's huge. I received like hundreds of calls from owner operators and carriers. They would like to work, you know, with me. They interested in my services. And it's a huge, guys. Their market, as I said, it's 800 billion, about $800 billion, industry. There a lot of potential, a lot of business opportunities that you can learn and implement and then generate, income from your own home. Right? So in the next video, I'll be talking about truck dispatcher specifically, and we'll go into the business together. I will create like hypothetical business and how you can start your business and how you can grow your business, right? In the next video, we'll be talking about how to become a truck dispatcher or how to own a truck dispatcher service business. I'll see you in the next video.